Yep, Vibe Show 97.9. This is the moment we all been waiting for. Listen, emails been going crazy. I've been going crazy. Patiently just waiting on this one right here. This is our guy coming up right now. Y'all make sure that y'all keep it locked in. Don't go nowhere. Don't touch the dial. It's the Vibe Show 97.9. Ooh. Yeah, Vibe Show 97.9. Listen, y'all gotta forgive me. I'm super excited. I'm having a fan moment here. Listen, this guy right here that's coming up is a major triple threat in the game. Very, very necessary and have been putting in work for years. I'm talking about actor, author, community activist, our guy, the one and only Mr. Hill. Harper. Man.
Hey, it's such a pleasure. I'll tell you, we always got to give credit. When I see something hot, that intro was hot. I mean, whoever did that, they need their flowers, they need their props, because I was like, ooh, wow. This was good. And I love to see excellence. So
I ain't gonna lie. Coming from you, that really, really means the world to me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a huge fan, and I have to give you your flowers as well. And I just got to be 100. Like this right here, like really, when this magic was happening, I couldn't believe it. I ran in there, and I was running around going crazy. Because it's a lot of weirdos online, man. But the Hill Harper, I've been talking about this forever. And this was a bucket list for me, and it's actually happening right now. I mean, this is a living testimony, man. God is good. And I want to thank you because I know that you're very, very busy. And I want to thank you for me and the Vibe team and Vibe Promotions just for this amazing opportunity. Thank you, my brother.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm happy to do it because at the end of the day, we have to support each other. And that is critical. That's why we're here. That's what we do. And we have to look at the community, folks who are speaking directly to the community. We have to be there for each other and work together. So I appreciate the reach out and I appreciate the connection. So it's a pleasure to have this conversation. It's a pleasure to say what's up to your audience and in whatever way I can help and amplify that, I'm happy to serve.
Thank you so much. Now, diving into this interview, it's just the accolades are amazing, and like I said, being a fan, why it's so special to me is I've always been a fan of your work since you first hit the scene, and the work has been impeccable, and watching you grow into from that moment when I was first introduced to you until the point that you are right now is a true testimony, and it's pure motivation and inspiration for me and so many different people out here in the world that's trying to follow that path that you have been on. It's just pure motivation. It really, really is. And I want to ask you, because you have a huge educational background as well. I just want to know, like, what really inspired you to want to get into the acting game, though?
Oh,
You could have went another way.
oh yeah. It could have gone in some different ways, but for me, to be honest, it was following my heart. Because what happened is, when I went to college, I went to Brown University. I actually needed a class that met in the afternoon because I played on the football team when I was there.
Really?
Yeah, I did. And a lot of people wouldn't know that. They're like, "Man, you ain't that big. What's up?" And, but no, I love football, and I played, and I was good in high school, and got recruited to some different places, and even got some scholarship offers. But and here is my son Pierce. The reason why.
Can we say what's up to him?
Yeah, come on. The reason I was a little delayed. You got to say hello to the folks. You're gonna be shy. Or you're gonna come on. He's waving.
Waving. What's up, Pierce? Man, how you doing? My guy, right there, man. He's in the building, man. What's going on?
In the building. Say what's up.
What's up?
What's up, big guy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Everybody. He's about to go to bed. He's got his PJs on. It's about that time. It's about that time. And so for me, what I realized was I really loved acting, but I didn't necessarily know how I was.
He just goes back to the good doctor. Yeah.
Pierce gonna give us the real. He goes
He goes to the good doctor. And what do I do when I go to the good doctor?
He does surgery.
I do surgery. Exactly.
What?
That's right. I go to the good doctor and I do surgery. And you're gonna be what? A real doctor, right?
I'm gonna be a doctor. I'm gonna help people. If it takes surgery, I'll have to do surgery, and then after surgery, I'll do whatever it takes.
That's right.
So Pierce, let me ask you this, man. Let me ask Pierce a question. So you telling me that you're not afraid of blood and all that stuff like that working on people?
Yeah. You are afraid or you're not afraid? He's not afraid. No, he's not afraid. In fact, when we do all those scenes, he's like, "Hey, Daddy, show," because I'll FaceTime him from the set. He'll be like, "Show me the surgery," and we got all the blood and the guts and stuff.
Right.
And
he got the car open belly in my rock.
But we know that it's not real. So that's the good thing. He knows the difference between fake and real, and he knows that I'm playing a doctor. I'm not a real doctor, but he's going to be a real doctor. So
right. One thing that I also admire is you as a father. Talk to me about balancing it though, because you have a real hectic schedule. Balancing it all though, like how do you balance it and wear multiple hats and still be able to get the necessary time in as a father? Because you're a big advocate on having that male figure in the household. Talk to me about your balancing.
For me, I guess I call it everything is about sequential mastery in my mind. And how that works for me, no matter what I'm doing, is that when I'm doing what I'm doing, right. This probably isn't the best example of this because right now I'm doing an interview, but also Pierce is right here. When I'm being a father, that's usually all I'm doing, right? Is being a father. And that's why I was a little delayed getting on. But when I'm acting, that's all I'm doing. And so to me, the way you're able to do multiple things, I'm not a good multitasker, but I'm a good sequential mastery person. So I can literally focus on what I'm supposed to be doing at the time. And that has served me extremely well. Because I call it dropping in. It's like when you're doing that, you drop in and nothing else exists to me at that point.
Right.
When it's time to read him his good night books, that's all I'm doing. I'm not thinking about what's happening, in some way.
I have my own phone. This is my own phone.
He's back.
You got your own phone, man.
This is my phone.
Look, don't they all got their own phones?
Yeah, exactly.
But my phone has no charge.
Has no charge, exactly. But so that is, to me, if I was going to give anybody an advice about the one thing I hate is that saying where they
don't say that word hate.
Okay, I'm not supposed to say the word hate. Sorry. The one thing I just dislike a lot is the old saying, "Don't be a jack of all trades, but a master of none," because that that immediately takes away the idea that we have the capacity to be masters of many things. And I believe all of us have the capacity to be masters of many, many things. But we have to do it in sequence, right? You can't master something if you're trying to do something else at the same time. Sequential mastery is the way. Hey, peers, we can't.
That's deep.
Here, you have to respect the interview, right? Because remember, we're having a conversation.
Oh, that's right. You're on live.
I'm on live, exactly. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
That's deep. That's deep right there, Hill. Do you think that it's hard for people to make that separation though, with having so much going on? Because a lot of times we make a lot of excuses, especially when we're setting goals. We make a lot of excuses on not accomplishing those goals because we got all of these different obstacles in life going on. Work might stretch. We hear so many different things or whatever. But I like that. Is there like a way to, like, what's the best way to master it?
The best way to master it is to show up and do it. Because I want to be really clear. One thing that I've learned is that the number one thing that stops most of us from taking action is fear. And 99% of the fears we hold are false. We've inherited them from somebody else. We've inherited them, whether they could be gender-based, they could be race-based, they could be socioeconomic-based, they could be geographic-based.
And I got my microphone on my shirt.
Hey, Pierce, we're having a conversation about fear.
What kind of fear? Like in the dark where you can be scared?
Not fear of the dark. Again, that's an inherited fear. He's making my point. The point is ultimately excuses are fear-based. Anytime we make an excuse, it's fear-based because we did.
Because you don't want to. Because you don't want to drop it, to drop it, to drop it, to drop it, to drop it.
Let him be great, Hill. Let him be great.
And so when you think about it, though, if you really think about it, and you break down times of your life where you've stopped your forward movement, where you've talked yourself out of something, where and I'm going to say something that I think is probably going to be hard for some folks to hear, but I said it the other day at a speech that I was doing. There are a number of people out there, and this is real talk, that need to walk in and quit their job. And people say, Hill, I can't believe Hill Harper tell people to quit their job. Do I believe in Black economics? Yes. Do I believe in supporting yourself? Yes. So all of that is important. But what's more important is your soul and your spirit. And why is this important? Is because our young people are watching us all the time. And to me, the best way to support a young person's dreaming and goals and vision is for us to live that out ourselves. And so if our young people see us living smaller lives than we were meant to live, not taking risk, many of us have an intuition that we're supposed to learn a new language because it could open us up to doing business with a different culture. But we never do that course, and we never lean into. Many of us have been told that we should start that business. Many of us are told that we should leave that job. And yeah, you may be eating ramen noodles for the next 6 months because you couldn't, and not going out to dinners and all that stuff because you've had to figure it out. But you know what? All of us know how to make a way out of no way. The thing you don't want to do is look back with regret, saying, I had an intuition to do this or that or the other, and I let fear and doubt, which are lies, stop me from taking that action. And I truly believe this with every fabric of my being, is that you will figure it out. You're that powerful, you're that strong, and you can make excuses as to why you don't, or as to why you put it off, as to why you didn't do the work. Or you can self-sabotage by actually leaving the job, but then not doing the work with all that time you have to actually create that next opportunity. But the point is that those are just excuses and they're fear-based. And I just want to share with folks that, I don't know, there may be one person on here that needs to hear what I'm about to say, and that you can do it.
Right.
And if not you, then who? And if not now, then when? And so moving forward, think about who you are, your life, and go forward. and because we need you to. That's the whole point. We
Right.
need you to win because we give each other permission to win, and other folks will win as well. And so I didn't even know we were going to talk about this and go deep like this, but you know, having my son here and talking about excuses and fear just brought that up in me, and
I love that.
believe that.
I love that. And you know, I already knew in my soul, because like I said, I'm really a fan, and I know how you're coming, and I know things that you're very, very passionate about. And I didn't just want to, you know, have this amazing opportunity to not get those gems, because I just feel like it's important. Like we, you know, we do interviews and all that stuff all the time, and but bringing you on, it's special, and it's so much information, and you're an advocate for so many different things that's so important that I feel is necessary, and I just wanted to take full advantage of that. So I really, really appreciate that. Let me ask you this, with playing roles, and you've played many of them, were you early on strategic with like the type of roles that you wanted to portray or would offer or whatever? Did you have a lot of say so in it early on, or as time progressed on in your career, learning more, experiencing more, seeing a lot of change going on, and maybe a lot of things that you disliked or whatever, which grew that hunger and passion for the path that you're on now? Talk to me about that.
Well, I think it's a combination of both, but you always have choice, right? And anybody who tells you you don't, it's true. So from the very beginning, the one thing I did, and I want to be clear about this, it's not about the role, it's about the project.
Okay.
The message of the project. And those are two completely different things. And
I get that. Yeah, that makes sense.
I refused to be in any project that I believe the overarching message of that project was damaging to our community, to our sense of self-worth, and to our people. Okay? That has nothing to do with the role, because the role could be a bad guy or whatever, because it's actually more interesting to play that role. In fact, I had somebody who asked me that question, and then somebody stood up at a Q&A, and she said, "Hill, you're a liar."
Are you serious?
I said, "What? Ma'am, what am I lying about?" She said, "I saw this movie you did, and you were a drug dealer.
Wow.
Drug dealers poison our community, and da-da-da-da." And I said, "Ma'am, you didn't listen to what I said." And she said, what do you mean?" I said, "I actually want to play every type of role, but it's about what the message of the film." And I said, "The film you're talking about is In Too Deep, that I did with LL Cool J and Omar Epps and Nia Long."
Which you killed it.
I said, when I was reading the script, I knew already, man, that if at the end, me and LL Cool J were sitting in a hot tub, popping bottles saying, "Dealing drugs is good, we good," then I don't do that role. But if at the end, the people who were hurting the community get their comeuppance, and the result of their activity they see, and the person who was doing the right thing actually gets the prize, and in this case was Nia Long, and riding off into the sunset with her, you know, good prize, you know. So although that's a very thin message, it means something. There are projects that I could tell you that would have made me much richer and much more famous that I turned down because I could not stand the message that it sent about. It could be about Black men, it could be about our community, it could be just an overarching message, generally speaking, about the condition of humans in the world, you name it. So, but I still want to play the bad guy.
Right.
I don't get cast as it very much because I guess I don't strike fear in people's hearts when they see me come. but I enjoy that, right? I'm an actor. I want to play every type of character, but I only want to play those characters or characters, whether they're the good guy or the bad guy, in movies that aren't harmful to us and the human spirit and human condition. So doing The Good Doctor now, I love, I'm kind of in certain ways the bad guy on that show, right? Because I'm kind of the meanie and harsh to Sean Murphy sometimes, The Good Doctor. But the beautiful thing about that show is that it has such a beautiful message that no matter who you are, no matter what you have value to add. And so I love the writing and I love the show. And so I love playing that character. So it's important to distinguish the role from the project, and I can name a few projects here that people will be shocked about that I think are some of the most harmful hidden message projects. I'm talking about projects that have won awards.
To name one, if you could, that really offended you and bothered you.
Okay, Monsters Ball.
Oh my God, number one.
Sister Hallie, who I love and respect, won an Oscar for her role in that film. If you want to if I pitched you this log line, okay, we're going to do a movie, and it's going to be about a woman who's married to a black man who they have a child together, and that black man's in prison, and the correctional officer who's in charge of killing that black man is going to kill him in prison, and then going to have his wife and have sex with her almost as if she's a dog in a violently sexual way.
Right.
And he's going to shoot. Basically, that is one of the most harmful, destructive. You talk about the way the black man is portrayed in that film. And to me, it is so hurtful to black men, and so telling about. I mean, it brings up a slave narrative. It's like, are you kidding me?
Right.
The rape slave narrative is just right there in a Hollywood movie, and so it hurt my heart, man.
Right.
That film hurt my heart, but I want to be really clear about this because I do not begrudge Halle Berry.
Right. Facts.
For taking that role. And I do not begrudge her winning her Oscar in playing that role. Actors are supposed to act. That's what we do. We're not writing. We aren't directing. We aren't editing.
Right.
We aren't marketing. We aren't voting at the Academy Awards, or some of us do, but I don't got to vote. But the point is that actors are supposed to act. And when you're given an opportunity to play a role that you've never played before, against actors who are very talented, Billy Bob Thornton, talented, super talented actor.
Right.
Those are opportunities that don't come along very often. But when you break down the message of that film, it's
in the industry, with your experience and years in the game, I know you've seen a lot. Do you think that it's getting better, or do you think that it's getting worse? Because I do, I'm starting to see more people of color on commercials more now. I'm just starting to see a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm still seeing our people being degraded in a lot of ways, from reality TV to, and like you said, these are, opportunities for people to get exposure or whatever. But I still see some stuff there that's very distasteful as well, just to get your perspective on it, on that side of the lens.
Well, I think that it's a combination, and I think characterizing, at least for me, better or worse, that's difficult. But the thing is because what we're seeing is, just like in every sphere, decentralization, meaning technology is allowing more people to create more product, and so there's more product out there, and just because more doesn't always mean better, right. But at the same time, more representation is a good thing. So to have more people in power, like the Ava DuVernays of the world, Lena Waithe and the Issa Raes, and Anthony Anderson executive producing those shows, all the multiplicity of those shows, and Tracy Ellis Ross, and I mean, we can go down the line. There's so many now of folks running their own shows and being showrunners and doing all sorts of things that I think is spectacular. So yes, there certainly has been progress in terms of the number of people being able to control story and story. Now, but at the same time, let me say this. I haven't seen, I mean, it's hard to see what I'm about to say, but Do the Right Thing to me is one of the greatest films in history.
Man, I'm telling you.
And it should be in every top 2 lists, and it ain't number 2. You know what I'm saying? Right. And Schindler's List and Do the Right Thing to me are probably 2 of the greatest films ever made. And I must say that it's incumbent upon all of us to push for quality and quality and quality. But it's hard to say, man, because you never know what's going to be good. And that's what entertainment and creativity is all about. You don't know. I just wrote a script that I just finished that I want to shoot. And I could shoot that thing and people come out and say, dang, I thought Harper was talking about quality. What was that trash?
Right.
That's what the creative process is all about. Because if you want to make things as good as you can, but at the same time, you're still just telling a story. And either that story resonates with people or it doesn't. And so the fact that we have more people with the opportunity to tell the story, I think is great. I just saw recently, I watched as many as I could back to back, and I think I ended up watching the whole thing. Eventually, Colin in Black and White. Ava DuVernay did that with Colin Kaepernick. I think those types of things are great. I saw it and I said, I can't wait till my son is old enough to watch this, because it'll be great for him to see this young kid going through high school and his challenges. But I bet you some people came to that thinking there was this big or deeper thing with it because it was Colin Kaepernick and Ava DuVernay. But I think it's great for a younger set of people, which is be powerful. And it's very well done. It's smart, and it gives you some education and all of that. So I love the fact that Ava and Colin, their power together was able to get that made, right? And that's powerful, and that's beautiful, right? And so to me, we have to celebrate the fact that we have so many. The Bozoma St. John's, is CMO of Netflix, formerly at Endeavor, and William Morrison Endeavor. And I'm missing all sorts of people that are showrunners. Kathy Busby just took over as an amazing Black woman I've known for years and my very dear friend. She just took over at Starz. And now she's basically head of programming at Starz. And so these are people that have green light power.
Right.
And that's wonderful. So there are a lot more people in positions of power. Nicole Brown, who's over at TriStar Pictures. These are people that aren't necessarily household names, but have power to green light projects. And so, I think that's a wonderful thing.
Absolutely. Now, financial literacy is something that you are a huge advocate on as well. And congratulations to the Black Wallstreet app, which I think is just so necessary and so needed. From your expert opinion, though, what's the best way to get people on the right path to being more smarter about the way that we spend money?
Okay, I'm going to break this down as hopefully as clearly as I can. If we are going to build wealth and cross-generational wealth in our community, we have to get out of cash and a cash mindset. What do I mean by that? Let me break this down real quick. 80 to 90% of our community's portfolio asset, or the money asset value that we hold, is in cash. We call it a mattress money mentality. It could literally be in the mattress of the shoebox or in a bank account or a CD, right? That's still in cash. It's not in a true ascending value asset. 80 to 90 plus of the asset value of the wealthiest people in this country is not in cash.
Really?
Yes. 90% plus of their assets are in what you call ascending value asset classes, such as real estate, blue chip stocks, mutual funds, 401ks, high value insurance products, and Bitcoin, etc. These are ascending value asset classes. So let me break down, what does that mean? It means,
yes, please.
It means that every time somebody from our community's head hits the pillow at night, like when we go to bed tonight, if most of your money is in cash, you wake up poor tomorrow morning, even though you have the exact same amount of cash.
What?
That's what most of us don't realize. The reason why that is because the purchasing power of the dollar goes down every day. And it does, and that's what they call inflation. You ever notice how people used to have to work 2 jobs to make ends meet? Now they have to work 3 jobs to make ends meet.
Yes.
They have to trade more of their time for the same purchasing power. Think about this.
I'm thinking about it.
You went and filled up your car and it said $60, $70, but it used to say $20.
Right.
So what do you have to do? You have to work more to fulfill that gap between the $25 fill up and the $60 fill up, which it is today. And so, but if your money is in ascending value assets, those ascending value asset classes go up in value faster than inflation. They go up in value faster than the purchasing power of the dollar is decreasing. So when your head hits the pillow at night and most of your assets are in ascending value asset classes, you're getting richer while you sleep. That's why we're seeing the wealth gap go in opposite directions.
Right.
It's been predicted that Black America will be at zero and negative wealth by 2053 if the wealth gap continues, because we're getting poorer and poorer and poorer every day just because of that fact. That's why I launched the Black Wallstreet digital wallet, to allow people to, 1, learn, because financial education is most important, and 2, invest in a dollar cost average way in Bitcoin. We're going to start adding other assets you can invest in the future. But right now it's Bitcoin. So you go into it, you launch it. It looks just like this, purple and black. And then you go in and then you'll see what'll pop up. This is me doing a real time live. And so you'll say, it says learn to earn. So you see these are all little 2-minute videos that talk about financial literacy, dollar cost averaging, needs versus wants, why, and then it talks about cryptocurrency and all sorts of crypto elements, because we got to make sure that we don't get ripped off in this cryptocurrency move.
Right.
Move out of fiat into digital. So you got to understand the difference, because most people you go up to and you ask them, hey, what's the difference between Dogecoin and Bitcoin? They can't tell you the difference. You need to know the difference and know why your money is much better put into Bitcoin than into Dogecoin, and why that is, the fundamentals. What's the difference between Shiba Inu or Space Moon and Ethereum? You need to understand the underlying utility and value proposition of certain cryptocurrencies versus others. It's just like if I went up to you and I said, hey, you want to invest in Google or you want to invest in one of these penny stocks that are 2 cents? And you say, well, I've heard about Google and a lot of people use Google, but Google stocks really expensive. I think I want the 2 cent. And I say, hold on, for the same dollar, are you sure you want the 2 cent stock? Why? Well, it's cheaper, so I'll get more of it.
Right.
But listen, what's the value difference? Long term. And that's what we have to be able to educate people around. And that's why I launched the Black Wallstreet. If we're going to solve the wealth gap, we're going to do it on tech platforms that we own. And I ask everybody who's listening, please go into your App Store or your Google Play Store, download the Black Wallstreet, the one that is purple and black, the Black Wallstreet. Download the app, go through the KYC, which means know your customer, because I know it's arduous and it's not fun, but go through that process, because we're trying to protect the users by doing everything the right way, checking every box legally the right way, and start thinking about what you can do around dollar cost averaging into an ascending value asset like Bitcoin. If you can do $6 a day, if you can do $6 a week, if you can do $6 a month, it doesn't matter. Just start learning. and we are going to be continuously loading up more education. We're going to launch the social part of the platform very soon, which will have us being able to do much more live educational forums. We could do your show on the platform, right? We'll bring it on to the app. There's so many things we can do collaboratively, and we're going to use the actual platform to empower the community, eventually bringing on Black businesses as a Black-owned marketplace to recirculate the Black digital and crypto dollar to create a network wealth effect. We can do all of this on digital platforms because the technology and blockchain technology is there for us to do. NFTs as well, you name it, we can do it, but we have to learn about it first and do it the right way.
Man, I love that. I definitely love that. Here, we got to go to a quick commercial real quick. You guys make sure y'all keep it locked in. Listen, y'all getting nothing but gems, nothing but good vibes and major love from me and my guy, the one and only Hill Harper. Y'all make sure y'all keep it locked. We got to go pay some bills. We'll be right back. It's the Vibe Show, 97.9. Ooh. Back with the one and only Hill Harper. That was Nairobi Product, sponsored by Sheen Magazine. You guys make sure y'all keep it locked in. Back with the one and only Hill Harper. Now, Hill, this information is absolutely amazing. Like the inspiration for this vision, we need this. This is amazing right here. The inspiration for this vision, like what inspired that? Was it information that you gathered along the way, or being in the right place, getting the information? Like, this is amazing.
Well, I'll reach down and grab this book. I'll tell you, in 11 years ago, I wrote this book. It's called The Wealth Cure. Okay. And it was all about how can we build wealth individually for cross-generational wealth transfer in Black families and Black communities. Right. So, and then since I wrote that book, the past 11 years, I've been working because the problem was back then the technology didn't exist to scale the impact, but it's finally here. That's the thing. Blockchain technology, smart contracts, all of the different tools are at our disposal. And this is what it kind of goes back to, we were talking about decentralization.
Right.
Everything that you see that other folks controlled institutionally and systemically that have always not worked out for us because of systemic and institutional racism, we can use new tech tools to do it ourselves or by us. It really makes FUBU real, right?
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so we can be our own bank. We can be our own credit score and credit rating. We can be our own loan products on platform. We can own our own creativity. We don't have to allow apps and platforms to monetize our culture anymore.
Right.
We can do that on our own platforms. To me, there were three pillars that created wealth in communities like all of the Black Wallstreets across the country. Because you got to remember, Tulsa and the Greenwood District was the most famous, but you had Lawrenceville in Chicago. You had Paradise Valley and Black Bottom in Detroit. You had Harlem, USA. You had Wilmington, North Carolina. You had all small cities throughout Virginia, Roseville. You had, and obviously the Greenwood District. There's and many more. They all were destroyed because of systemic and institutional racist practices. But obviously the most aggressive one and the clearest one was the race massacre in Tulsa, May 31st, 1921. Right. But to me, there were three pillars that created the wealth effect. Because you got to remember, in most of those communities, they were doing so well that even white folks were coming to those communities looking for work. Now imagine that. So what were the three pillars that created the wealth effect? And my challenge was, could I replicate those three pillars in a digital platform ecosystem protocol? Pillar number one, institutional ownership. We owned our own businesses. We owned our own land and real estate, and we owned homes, and we had an ownership mentality. We did not have a rent from somebody else mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Pillar number 2, institutional and individual trust. We trusted each other to transact with each other. We worked with each other. We loaned each other money. We bought and sold to and from each other. We fulfilled IOUs and commitments with each other. We know that's a tough one today, right? Instant trust, right? But guess what? Blockchain solves the trust problem. Why? Because it's a trustless system. You don't need to trust me to transact with me. The technology handles the transaction.
Right.
It's trustless. That's what smart contracts are, right? So we solved that problem with the technology. And then pillar number 3, and perhaps the most important, was the movement of money or capital around the ecosystem, where a dollar in most of those communities changed hands 60 to 100 times. Back then, that was a year to 3 years. Today, we have $1.2 trillion of spending power in our community, but a dollar leaves our community within 6 to 7 hours. And the reason why I launched beta with a digital wallet, and I felt that was critical, and a digital wallet that I did not white label or license, I built from scratch with our engineers. Important distinction there, we can talk about why. But we launched a digital wallet as our beta product, and our first product is because I believe if we don't start owning our own wallets as we're moving out of fiat or hard money currency into digital currency, cryptocurrency, then the dollar won't be leaving within 6 to 7 hours, it'll be leaving within 6 to 7 seconds. We have to own our own tech, and we have to stop allowing other folks to monetize our culture on their tech platforms. And if we can mirror those 3 wealth factors on the Black Wall Street platform, we will create a network wealth effect on the platform for any individual and business that is on the platform, where we recirculate the Black crypto and digital dollar, and then create incentives and discounts for supporting the Black-owned businesses and individuals on the platform. That's why it becomes a self-sustaining ecosystem that exists out, and we can create loans on the platform, peer-to-peer, as well as collateralized loans against your crypto holdings. All of these things are there for us to do, but the only way it gets done is adoption. What creates value for platforms like mine is people using them, people downloading them, people spreading the word and getting other people to download. Because if you do that, you create value for the platform, and therefore I can go out and scale it. If folks don't use it, it'll die. And that's just real talk. So I hope people will support and spread the word and get as many people using it.
Listen, Hill, I'm definitely going to get with you off air, because I need any promotional content or anything that you have that you could get to me. And we're going to help push this through radio, through our team promoting the wallet, whatever we can do to assist on our end to push it out there. We would love to assist in any type of way that we can to help push that.
That would be huge. And I'll tell you what else that you won't hear from any other tech startup is that as soon as we are able to pass a milestone of first tier funding, we're going to open up to our community the ability to be early investors in the platform.
That's going to be great.
It's called Reg CF, which means Reg Crowdfund. But the difference is that when a lot of people do crowdfund, they oftentimes do it first, which means what? It means the people who are putting money in first are putting in the riskiest money, because first money in is the riskiest. Oftentimes people crowdfund for things that aren't even built yet.
Right.
I want to do it in reverse. I want to actually go to our community in terms of the crowdfund when we've already raised our first tier of capital. And that creates a stability already. So I then can go to the community and say, hey, we're stable. We have this many users. We want you to invest because we want to make sure you're going to get your money back, plus being an early investor. And the point here, I want to be very clear, is for us not to exit and sell to a bigger majority owned institution, like we've seen happen before. We've seen our businesses, and I don't begrudge anybody the way they do their business, because everybody has a right to figure out how to make money, right? That's their thing. That's what capitalism is. But I want to be clear. Our journey is to not be used as a marketing tool to then pass on a bunch of accounts to a bigger company that wants to buy our accounts.
Because they see the value in it.
Because they see the value and they know they can't reach that consumer. So therefore, they'd rather just buy a company that's already done that work.
Mm-hmm.
And what are we? We're just a marketing company selling Black accounts and Black data. We're not going to sell people's data. We aren't going to sell an email list. We aren't going to sell phone numbers, information, any of those things. And we're not going to sell the company. We are going to IPO. We are going to go and continue to own our company. So the people who invest will be the people that will experience, hopefully, a huge infusion of capital because they're holding the stock early and investing in the company so early that by the time we IPO, that value of that initial investment is quite significant per share compared to what they paid for it.
Right.
And that, and because what happens usually when you sell and you get acquired, the people who make the big money are the founders.
Right.
And everybody else gets, small. But if you IPO, you can really create wealth for people.
Hill, let me ask you this. Hearing all of this, man, is just it's fueling my soul right now. The thing though with our culture, and I just want to get your perspective on it. Do you think that because something like this, hearing this, you would think like, everybody would just jump on board? Do you think that it's a mentality, a mindset thing that has been resined from generations and generations that we have when it comes to us creating something amazing? Why is it so difficult for our people to gravitate to it? I don't understand that.
I'll answer the question with a story. I was at a talk and a brother was asked to talk to me afterwards, and I slid over and he's like, okay, I just downloaded the app. Be real with me. We're not on camera. There's no mic. Just tell me the truth. What's the catch? And I said, brother, what do you mean? What's the catch? He says, every time, people come into our community and try to sell us something that's money related, there's always a catch or a ripoff. It's just like modern day payday lending. There's got to be a catch. What's the catch?
Right.
And I said, brother, you know what? There is no catch here because to me, I'm attempting to grow a company like they did with Amazon. And he said, well, what do you mean? I said, what Amazon did was he got so well funded that he and Facebook is another example. They got so well funded because he was able to convince the investors, hey, this is a long road and we're probably not going to make money the first umpteen years of this because we're going to give away all the value. Everything's going to be free.
Right.
We're not going to try to monetize or try to take money. You ever notice that so many things come into our community? Everybody wants a monthly this and a monthly that, or pay me this and pay me that.
Right.
I want to come into the community and say, I'm going to give you a bunch of content and everything for free because I want to offer you value because long-term, if we can build this ecosystem, and this is why I said, this only works at scale.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't onesies, twosies. This isn't, hey, can you sign up 100 people at $30 a month? And then you do the math. This isn't that. Because what happens is if you can build something at scale, then you can start to figure out ways where small slices of the transaction, everyone, you know how big a market cap Visa and MasterCard have? And do you know how small of the transaction they're a part of? But what's the deal? They're a part of trillions of transactions.
Right.
So they are massively successful companies. We don't have one of those.
At all.
And we can build it because our power, I just said $1.2 trillion of spending power, yet we don't monetize it. It goes away. And what I'm attempting to do is build a company that allows for all of us to participate in the monetization of our own spending power. And he said, there's no catch in that. I said, exactly, there's no catch. Because if I started charging you this fee, that fee, this fee, that fee, I would never scale. But that's what we do. We just go at our community trying to monetize them out of the gate rather than offering value and trying to scale and getting people to jump in. And the other flip side of that is I'll continue though, is that our community has been ripped off by financial services products so many times, oftentimes by their own people, that it's understandable that you'd be like reticent and say there's either a catch or a ripoff somewhere around here.
Right.
The fact is there's not. And the other point I'll make is I am radically non-competitive. And people say, well, how can you do that in business? I can do that in business because we have been taught as a community by a old school European mindset that there's only going to be one winner, and we have to compete with each other. And that's the biggest lie of all. If we partner together, all of us win. And so that's why I want to own the technology, because I want a young brother to come up to me and say, man, I like your wallet, but I got an idea for a wallet. I said, okay, young brother, license my technology and use my wallet. So your wallet is also black tech.
Right.
But it'll be your wallet, and you're going to call it the, sneaker wallet, and all your stuff are sneakers or whatever. It doesn't matter. But the point is that if we own the technology, it's just like having a black construction company. You're like, I want a house or a business looks like this. Okay, let's build it together. We can build it. I can help you. And so that's the goal here, is to be radically non-competitive. Someone could show up and be in the exact same business as what I'm trying to do, and I'll help them launch it, because everybody can win if we work together. And so with your show, I want to support it. I saw that ad by Nairobi. I want to support them because they support you. That's the mindset we have to have.
Right.
As soon as we see a company that's supporting things that we like, that are owned by us already, we have to lean in hard on it. And that's the way we build wealth and equity, because it's a network effect to that. It's not a one-off when you reinvest in the community. There's a network wealth effect that creates jobs and opportunity. If your show becomes higher, more and more successful, and scales higher, if that happens, what do you have to do? You have to hire more techs.
Right.
And you know what you do? You hire techs that look like you from the community, right? And it doesn't take a genius to know that that's the outcome. More jobs, more opportunity. And what does that do? That brings more money. Someone's earning more money. And what do? They reinvest it. They create another new job. And that's the network effect of recirculating the digital dollar.
Meta, I gotta ask you this, Seal. You got things to do, and I'm just so engulfed in this conversation, man. I want to get your thoughts on this, because it's I'm not gonna say it's scary, man, but like I feel like in a way, I'm all about evolution. I'm all about technology evolving. This meta thing is scary though, because I feel like in a way that it's taking away the physicalness of physical interaction. Going back all the way to Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes and Sylvester Stallone. I feel like these movies came out years ago, and they already had this vision already, and where you put the goggles on with Sandra Bullock. He was, ready to have physical engagement with her. And she was like, nah, we don't do that. We put these goggles on and we go into this virtual world of being intimate or whatever. Like, I just want to get your thoughts on it. This whole metaverse thing and meta. And I don't know.
Yeah. Well, we're already in it. Let's just say that. Because you got to remember, everything happens slowly and subtly.
Right.
Even as fast as technology moves, it still moves in an incremental pace.
Mm-hmm.
So let me give you a few examples. When you started having your first filter or a face emoji replacement,
mm-hmm.
And you're able to alter your image in your phone or on a picture or on a post, that's the baby beginning of entering that verse. Because ultimately, if you extrapolate all the way through, you're going to be able to create whatever image you want in this new world. Right now, it's just social media. But the reason why Facebook changed their name to Meta is because they know Facebook is a dinosaur. Okay,
Right.
So they have to evolve into the metaverse. So your interactions will become that in many ways, and your social interactions will become that. But just like, and listen to me, this is the beautiful thing about it, and this is why I want you to have hope. Just like we have streaming services,
Right.
there's still vinyl.
Right.
Why? Because people love the sound of that vinyl.
Yeah.
And still can find record players. In fact, they're making a huge comeback if you really think about it.
They really are.
Many hotel rooms that I stay in now that have a few albums and a few small little individual record players, and you go in and you can play a record and you can do it at home. And so the point being is that something that feels right, like the human touch and the human interaction and being in a group with people, will never go away, because you'll always come back to it. But music streaming ain't going away either. So, and so metaverse is not going away. It's just there and it's coming. And that's why understanding blockchain technology and understanding that when you buy, for instance, some Bitcoin, all you're doing is buying real estate on the blockchain. That's all you're doing. So Bitcoin is just a block. It's a ledger of, and you're buying little Satoshis that make up a Bitcoin. And just think of, there's 21 million blocks of Bitcoin, and you're buying some of those, right? And that's what makes it ultimately a long-term valuable asset class. And that's why you can buy it on our platform, is because there's only 21 million of them that will ever be minted, but there are over 8 billion people in the world. So just do the math. Scarcity is what drives value. And that's what they're betting on in the metaverse as well, that the real estate that you'll buy and the NFTs that you'll buy and the things that you'll use in the metaverse will be valuable somehow. But the difference, though, is that there's no scarcity in those. You can keep making more and more real estate. Now you could say, oh, I'm only selling one Staples Center in my metaverse Staples Center. So if you bought the Staples Center, then that's a scarce asset. And that's, like a one-off NFT, scarce asset. But at the same time, there's an infinite supply of NFTs, but there's not an infinite supply of Bitcoin. That's what people have to understand, the difference of these assets. And some things get real sexy and hot early on. And I'm not saying NFTs are bad, because the real extended value of NFT is way beyond art. What it gets to, it speaks to medical records. It speaks to deeds of sale. It speaks to being able to do transactions of assets and then tie your value to that asset for forever. There's so many different uses that are there beyond, just what we hear about now. But it usually starts with the arts, right? Almost every form starts with the art, and then it migrates into other forms. But the metaverse is here, and it's not going nowhere.
You're right about that, man.
Web3 is real. And that's why we want to be ahead of the game with our platform and educate people about it.
Right here, I want to give you an opportunity too, man. So many people support you, your fans, family, so much support. Just to be able to shout anybody out you want to shout out and give them their roses, man. Let's take advantage of that opportunity.
There's so many people, but I'd start with my son, who I actually really got to go to make sure I put him to bed, because I hear his voice. That means he's not going to sleep. And so, but certainly my son, who's the greatest gift in my life, and my family, my mother, all my family, my friends, and my co-founder of the Black Wallstreet, Naja Roberts, who's wonderful. She's a cryptocurrency expert, and she has her thing called Crypto Blockchain Plug, and she actually has a show on KBLA Radio, which Tavis Smiley owns, that radio station in LA. And she has a crypto show that she does there that's one of the only in the country. And so she's just a dope figure who does great things. And all the folks that have supported me over the years, Dr. King said, we're all tied together in a single garment of mutual destiny, which means that we're all in this together, y'all. And the more we recognize our togetherness in this, the more we can amplify our voice and our power. And I truly believe that. And so let's just continue to push. And then the beautiful thing about when you own your own tech platform and we own it, once you get on it, it's not a zero-sum game, meaning use it and then give us feedback about how to make it better. And I made so many changes to it because of feedback. And that's what's critical. This becomes your tool, our tool together. And that's what I love about technology too. And people are like, man, you talk more about technology than the acting. And I was like, yes, because I believe ultimately my legacy will be this platform and technology. The acting I love and it's important and I've loved doing it and it's helped me do many things. But to me, building Black wealth and helping to solve the wealth gap and creating jobs and businesses and money and opportunity for our community.
Nothing like that feeling.
Cross-generational wealth transfer will live long beyond me. And that is what it is. And that's why I want to support you. And I'm so appreciative this time. And so thank you so much.
Absolutely. Anything up and coming that we can look forward to? I know you got so many things in the works. Anything we need to put out there right fast that we can look forward to?
Well, I'll tell you this. The Good Doctor is coming back on Monday nights in April. It'll be like the first Monday in April. We'll be back on showing, I think, another 8 or 10 episodes to finish out this season. Great episodes. And we're in the middle of shooting now. And then, hopefully we'll be back on next fall as well. So thank you for everybody who tunes into The Good Doctor. And I love my cast and I love the writers and the character. And again, going to support a tour because we got to meet people where they are. And we got to talk face to face about cryptocurrency and crypto literacy and financial education. So that's coming. But all of that will happen through the Black Wallstreet digital wallet. So please download it so we can be in touch. And if you don't have the ability to download a wallet right now, you can go to www.thebblackwallstreet.com, thebblackwallstreet.com, and just put your email in and the website and all of that. It doesn't cost you anything to download the wallet. It doesn't cost you anything to put your email into the website. And please get other people. Put other people's emails into the website so we can reach out to them, people that you think are either involved in crypto or need to start building wealth, because we can reach out to them directly. Like I said, any touch points to reach people will be so valuable. If someone's out there listening that has a big listserv of folks that they would be willing to share with us, that we could reach out to folks and shoot them an email to talk about the platform, I would be so grateful. All of these things help. And this is truly a grassroots movement.
Absolutely. Let's put those social platforms out there and let's put the information out there again. So everybody that's on right now, please go and download the Black Wallstreet wallet. Please, let's put that information out there in ways that people can actually get connected. Let them know the website. Let them know the
www.thebblackwallstreet.com. And let me be clear, because sometimes people, when you Google the Black Wallstreet, other things that are called the Black Wallstreet pop up. And
definitely.
Listen what I'm about to say, because you probably never heard a founder say this before. Download those too. Why? Because when official Black Wallstreet pops up, that's not mine, but it's valuable and good.
Right.
It's a Black-owned site and a Black-owned platform that's aggregating Black businesses. When the Black Wallstreet news pops up, download that too. It's not mine, but it's good. Why? Because they're talking about news affecting our community. So I am radically non-competitive with our businesses. So people ask me which one, I say download them all. That's the one, right? Because the point is that we have to support each other. And whether the other ones that are similarly named talk about mine and support mine, that doesn't matter. They may. I don't know, right? Who knows? But it doesn't matter, because this isn't quid pro quo. This is about support. And if you just support somebody, you're not supporting for something in return. You're supporting because that's what is right to do, and that's what we need to do. Support all of these businesses that are out there that you've heard about. Someone told me, don't you think Greenwood is a competitor? No.
Right.
Greenwood is no competitor. Support them, right? Support. Let's go.
Absolutely. Listen, Hill, I got to thank you from me and the Vibe team, Vibe Promotions. My brother, it has been a true honor. And we want to tell you that we love you. We so proud of you, man, and everything that you've blessed us with over the years and continuing to bless us with. I personally, I want to thank you again for this amazing opportunity, this connection to be able to build and grow with you, my brother. And we wishing you more blessings and more success with everything that you're doing right now and everything that you're going to be doing in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. And God bless everybody out there. Know that you are great. Know that you are magnificent. Know that you're brilliant. And we get greater and more magnificent and more brilliant together. God bless.
Absolutely. Love you here, Harper. It's the one and only Hill Harper. Shout out to everybody who pulled up and showed mad love. So many people showed so much love. Shout out to y'all. Listen, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications for more exclusive interviews coming up. Y'all make sure y'all go and follow Hill Harper right now, and make sure that y'all rush over to the mobile app store and go and download the wallet right now as soon as y'all get off of this interview. Hill, I love you. I'll be in touch, my brother, so I can get that promotional content.
I'd love to do that. Thank you so much.
Vibe Show 97.9, Hill Harper. Love y'all. We out.